Good afternoon, and welcome to today's Spotlight webinar with Ms. Julie Bond, the Program Director with Best Workplaces for Commuters. My name is Gladys Hurwitz with the Maryland Department of Transportation, and I'll be the moderator for today's session. This webinar is being recorded. Let's start off by introducing you to Commuter Choice Maryland and share some key program offerings. Commuter Choice Maryland plays a key role in helping to meet the Maryland Department of Transportation's mission by enhancing employer and commuter awareness of the variety of transportation options. This can include anything from telework, compressed work week, transit ride sharing, as well as commuter benefit programs. These options help to balance transportation demand across our roadways, transit systems, walk and bikeways throughout the state. Commuter Choice Maryland also works in partnership with local and regional jurisdictions and provides complimentary consultations to employers who are starting or enhancing their workplace transportation and commuter benefits program. One of our goals is to make it easy for employees to find affordable, convenient, and sustainable ways to get to work that enhances their quality of life while helping to attract and retain talent. So with our key partnerships with local and regional jurisdictions that we're able to provide services and share information on the benefits of transportation options to employers and commuters throughout Maryland. So thank you to all of our partners. This is a list of strategies used to support transportation demand management. For today, we're going to go into a little bit more detail about Incentrip and the Maryland Commuter Tax Credit expansion. Incentrip is a mobile app with the goal of reducing traffic congestion in the weekday peak periods by encouraging Maryland commuters and employers to increase the use of public transportation, ride sharing, which includes carpooling, vanpooling, walking, biking, telework, and alternative work schedules. Maryland commuters using the app will earn points when they make decisions to avoid congestion, and the points can be redeemed for cash rewards, Visa gift cards, and also $30 NIF gift cards. It's really easy to get started. All you have to do is follow these 5 easy steps. Download the app, create an account, plan and take that trip, then start collecting points and redeem it for rewards. It's really that easy. To learn more, visit our website, mdot.maryland.gov/Incentrip. Maryland employers of any size and industry may claim a tax credit for up to 50% of the total eligible cost of commuter benefits offered to employees, up to a maximum of $100 per employee per month. Qualifying commuter benefits included subsidized cost of transit for employees, van pool for employees, emergency ride homes, and also cash in lieu of parking. The Maryland Department of Transportation has championed legislation in this past Maryland session to expand the benefits of the Maryland Commuter Tax Credit. The new tax expansion now includes carpool to cover expenses such as Easy Pass tolls and other toll fees and parking fees. Telework, which covers things like internet service costs, computer equipment costs, software supplied but not provided by the employer, and also membership costs for co-working spaces and even telework centers. There's also the feature of active transportation, which covers costs associated with bicycle maintenance, shared bicycle and scooter memberships, bicycling gear, and walking gear. And then lastly, there's a multimodal last mile solution, where a ride-hail service can be used for up to 5 miles of a multimodal trip to connect the commuter to a non-SOV mode of travel to or from work. So be on the lookout for these awesome new features, and we also have handouts available within this webinar for both the tax credit and also for Incentrip for anybody who's interested. It's now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Julie Bond, who serves as the Program Director for Best Workplaces for Commuters, the national organization recognizing outstanding employers, universities, and sites for their commuter benefits programs. In this role, she collaborates with many dedicated professionals from across the US who are working to make a better commute for their employees. She earned a Master of Public Administration from the University of South Florida and a Bachelor of Science in Business from Southern Utah University. Julie is also a league cycling instructor and enjoys teaching adults new bicycling skills. Logging over 6,000 miles each year, her preferred way of getting around is by bicycle. Welcome to today's webinar, Julie. We're happy to have you.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'm very excited to be here today. And it was really interesting to see all the benefits that you have in Maryland. And so I think it's great you have those benefits, and that's going to be to work well and with the Best Workplaces program that I'm going to provide an introduction to today. I'm coming to you from Tampa, Florida, and so I hope you'll enjoy my presentation, and we'll go ahead and start. So if you can move the slide forward. Okay, today I'm going to talk a little bit about best workplaces for commuters and how we are changing how America commutes. And I'm going to give you an overview of the program. I'll talk about some of the benefits that we offer, and you can actually take advantage of those benefits today. You can sign up for our different webinars, and you can look at all the opportunities that we have to provide to you. And BWC is an innovative membership program. We provide national recognition for our members and the work that they do. Plus we have, some really great benefits, publications, networking opportunities, and many things that you and everyone here on the webinar today can take advantage of. Okay, next slide. I wanted to provide a little bit of background though. Some of you may be familiar with Best Workplaces for Commuters. We've been around for a long time. And some of you may be new and just learning about it. So I wanted to give a little bit of the history. And the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, initiated Best Workplaces for Commuters way back in 2001. And they managed the program until 2007. So it was publicly announced in 2002. They developed a national standard of excellence that we're still using today. We've updated it, but it's still something we use today. And so when we took over management during 2007, that is here at the Center for Urban Transportation Research. We're at the University of South Florida, and we've been managing the program ever since. We've been growing it and working with employers just like you across the nation. And we have a great team here at BWC that you can work with, and we're improving and listening to our customers. And some of you may know our program through the TDM listserv, so we also manage that. That is a listserv of over 2,000 transportation professionals, and so if you aren't a member, we can send out a link and you can join that TDM listserv because there are members who are posting programs that they're participating in, and it's really a great list to belong to. Okay, next slide. Okay, the National Standard of Excellence for commuter benefits was established by the EPA, and then we have improved it and updated it over the years. And this is what you will meet to become a Best Workplaces for Commuters. And so the National Standard of Excellence starts by asking each applicant, what do you offer for your commuter benefits? So you can see on this slide that employers that meet the National Standard of Excellence, they might offer $30 towards a transit or van pool pass. They may offer a significant telework benefit, significant compressed work week. And so you can see there is a large menu of benefits that our members offer. So if you decide to apply for Best Workplaces for Commuters, you would choose one of these primary benefits, and that would get you going towards membership. Now, if you're looking at the benefits and you say, okay, I might be offering, a compressed work week, but it might not quite meet the primary benefit, or a bicycle commuting program, you can put those all into one, and that is the equivalent benefit you can see towards the far right. And so just an overview of how our members meet the standard of excellence and the benefits that they offer. And I have a slide. In a minute, I'll show you the different benefits that the members are offering. Okay, next slide. So we have different categories of membership. We have best workplaces. So those are for the employers. So if you're attending today and you are an employer workplace, then you would apply as a best workplace. We also expanded, working with our members and listening to them, they wanted a category for best sites. So a best site is a designation for multi-employer development. So that could be a mall, it could be a business campus, and then the employers within that site apply individually and they can also gain status. We are really growing our best universities program. And so if you're a university or a college, we have many colleges also in this program, then you would apply on that separate application. And we also have best partners. So those are people who are working across the nation with employers, best sites, and universities, and they are promoting their programs. And so they're assisting us with membership, with helping employers apply for best workplaces. And they are really that person that is there on site helping you in your state or your region or your area. So that's a little bit about the different categories that we offer. And again, this is just going to be a brief introduction to best workplaces. And so you can always go to bestworkplaces.org to read more about it. Okay, next slide. And we have a list release that we announce every year during January. And so our application period is open. And so we, during January 2022, we announced our list, and we will announce our new list January 2023. So for the last list that we announced, you can see the breakdown. We had 424 workplaces, we had 65 universities, and 28 sites. So those were across the nation. And collectively, this represents more than 2 million employees. And so really we're looking and helping these entities with how their employees, their students get to work and how they commute to work. Okay. I wanted to share with you the top states. And so the top 5 states are Florida, and we're located in Florida, so we do share the program quite frequently, and Florida did rank as the #1 for members. California is #2, Virginia is #3, Texas is #4, and North Carolina is #5. And so we always see it change up a little bit each year. So there's always room for your state to get into that top 5. We have members in 22 states right now, and I know looking at our open application period, right now we have other states, and so that number is going to grow for our next list release. Okay, next. So this shows you the primary benefits offered by members, and you might be interested in that. So you can see that transit pass, well, this one is for universities. So you can see transit passes are high. You can see shuttles. Universities often have shuttles that are circulating. We do here. And so that one is high, but you can see really, it's interesting because we find our universities like to offer different benefits. They like to experiment with them. Many of them have free transit for both students and employees. So you can see there's kind of a wide array of the benefits offered. So each year after the applications are submitted, we look at what our universities are offering. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an overview on that. Okay, next slide. And this one is the primary benefits offered by employers, so our best workplaces. And you can see that telework is quite high. You may think that might have been due to the pandemic, but as we look back across the years, telework for our best workplaces members was always high. It was always one of the top benefits offered. Also transit passes, so you can see that almost 60% of our members are offering a transit pass benefit of at least $30 a month. Then that's followed by van pool subsidies, a compressed work week, pre-tax commuter benefits, also employee shuttles bicycle commuting. The equivalent benefit can be a mix of all of those. We have members offering carpool subsidies, and then that employer cash out for parking. And so we do see a few, about 5% are offering that benefit. And so that gives you a little bit of an idea of what those employer work sites are offering. And again, we have a best site designation. The employers in those sites are also included in this best workplace analysis. Okay, next slide. And then this shows the top 10 supporting services offered by BWC workplaces. So to meet the standard of excellence, you're going to tell us what other benefits you're offering to support commuters. So this is interesting because when you complete the application, you just will check what you are offering on at your employer. So you can see at the top, and this is usually the same every year, people check this secure bicycle parking comes out, and that I think is an easy one for them to offer. They want to encourage bicycling, and so we see secure bicycle parking is usually the highest. Also membership in a TMA, on-site showers and lockers. Transportation coordinator comes in at 67%. So you can see that these workplaces do have someone who is in charge of those benefits. A rideshare matching program, flex time, healthy initiatives. So there's really a great list of what our best workplaces are offering. And it's, there's something for everyone we're finding. Our members talk to us and tell us that they really want to offer what meets that employee's needs. What do they need to be most effective? What is going to work for them in their commute to work? Okay, next slide. And this screen you can see has a lot in this bulleted list, but I did want to share with you what the benefits are for BWC membership, and those change each year. And recognition is really something that I have surveyed our members and they find to be one of the most important aspects. And so they love that public recognition. However, we do also offer all of these programs. I believe there's a link to our commuter benefits guide. We just updated that during January, and that's also a great benefit. This year we added a free class, Shifting Narratives to Prevent Bicyclists and Pedestrian Deaths, that they can take advantage of. The Social Marketing and Transportation Certificate, there's a discount for members, and that course has filled up, so we have a waiting list. And so these are all benefits that you will get from your membership. And really, we just strive to provide benefits that are going to help you because we want to see national employers recognized for what they do, and we also want to provide some benefits for you. Okay, next slide. This just shows you the commuter benefits guide. So this I know is very beneficial to many employers. And so it talks about those qualified transportation fringe benefits. It's really easy to go through. It's going to answer many of your questions that you may have on how you would implement this program. And also your local representative can help you work through this guide. But it's there as a benefit for our members and something that will help you when you're looking at those qualified transportation fringe benefits. Okay, next. We also just recently launched a partner guide. And so this is for those partners who want to work with employers. However, I'm finding that a lot of our employers and best sites and universities want to look through the partner guide and want to see what's in it. We have everything from creating your elevator pitch to talking about the membership dues. So it's a really comprehensive partner toolkit that we just developed. And so that is available for partners and anyone else who wants to look and see the different topics that we have in there. It really does talk about how you can build a program for success and has all the toolkits listed. And so again, that is for partners and also if any employers want to download and look at the guide. Okay, next slide. So now I talked about best workplaces for commuters. So now I want to talk a little bit about our next subject, and that's some trends that are happening and why we focus on the workplace. So if you are at a workplace, this may seem pretty evident why we do that. Employers influence the employee commute, right? You influence your employer's commute. You can set your work schedules. You can determine who can telework, who can do a compressed work week, and then you're going to be the one providing the incentive. And so employers really do influence that commute behavior. They play a role in everything that has to do with how employers get to work. They also have a hand in setting parking policy at the workplace and providing those amenities. So you can see on our list, secure bicycle parking was at the top. So the employer is going to determine, are we going to have lockers, showers, bicycle parking? And so those are just a few examples of the ways the employers influence commute behavior. And they do have a wide range of motivations. So if you look at the circle, you can see it's a word cloud, and in there the words are in proportion to the number of employers who cited them as strong motivators in the 2019 BWC survey. So if you look at that circle and it's a word cloud, you can see traffic congestion was number one. You can see it's the largest. You can see also employees requesting programs, work-life balance is a big one, employee turnover, and employee productivity are all big motivators. Okay, next slide. And then also employer benefits. I'm going to talk a little bit about the employer benefits from the various commute programs. So the different programs do have really big benefits to not just the employees, but also to the employers. So there's a few examples here. You can see that telework can lead to employee productivity increases. We've learned that reduced overhead is really a big one, and increased employee retention. And then flexible work hours have been shown in multiple studies that they can reduce absenteeism along with compressed work week, and that can provide expanded coverage. So some employers have told us that that actually increases productivity. Commute subsidies for transit and van pool can provide reduced payroll cost. And think about your parking. So that can also reduce your parking demand. And also parking is expensive, so that can decrease for the employer those parking costs. Bicycle amenities, again, they provide for a healthier workforce and also another option to get to work, especially for those commuters who live a couple miles from the workplace. And so these employer benefits really can benefit you as a whole and along with your employees. Okay, next slide. And then return to the office. So everyone is talking about return to the office, and some of you may already have transitioned and returned to the office. I know many of our members are still in a work or a hybrid situation. They have not fully returned to the office. And so this is, I looked at several studies, and this was one from April of 2021. So they launched a survey asking 275 of their clients how they were approaching their return to the office. And from their survey, it said 68% are implementing some kind of hybrid model, 21% are going back to physical work spaces, 1% were undecided, and 1% remain fully virtual. And so I think it's important to note, I've seen some conversations on this, that this is really, when they're talking about it, it's a return to the office, right? Because you're not really returned to the workplace, because your workplace can be anywhere. It can be at your home, it can be wherever you're doing that work. And so this was discussing really a return to that physical office and what people were doing about that nationwide. And it'd be interesting to hear from you and what your return to the office looks like in Maryland. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is a snapshot you may find interesting by occupation of those who are teleworking because of the pandemic. And so you can see the different occupations. You can see 22.5% were in management, 15.2% business and financial, and 14.3% computer mathematical. So those are the top. And then there are some occupations, of course, that can't telework. You can see some of the ones who have the lower percentages: community, social services, natural resources, and then service occupations. So that was from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it shows those employed persons and their occupation because of the pandemic, which is interesting to see that there, again, not everything fits every occupation or every employer. Okay, next slide. And then this also I thought was interesting. So it's the nationwide employee stated preference survey results. It's some of those results. And if you think that the trend data out there indicates that some portion of teleworkers are teleworking because of the pandemic, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics data indicate that this group is decreasing, this suggests that more of these teleworkers may seek to return to the office at some point in the future when the pandemic is fully resolved. And so this nationwide comprehensive stated preference survey was conducted by Dr. Mikil Menon, who is here at USF with us, and it's to understand people's mobility patterns prior to COVID, during the pandemic, and then potentially after the pandemic is no longer a threat. And it was an online survey administered in all 50 states, and the clean sample size was about a little over 2,400. And so employees indicated that they desire a hybrid approach to work and more flexibility, especially those who commute to work was longer than 30 minutes. So maybe not a surprise to you, but that really was the conclusion from this study. And so they really desire that hybrid approach to work and more flexibility. Okay, next slide. And this shows some results from another survey about embracing flexible work. 58% of all employed respondents report the opportunity to work from home at least 1 day per week. 35% report the opportunity to work from home 5 days per week. And then most industries support some degree of remote work and flexibility. Okay, next slide. And we are almost done. This is the last slide. I just wanted to mention our BWC membership application window is open. You can apply online. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, or you can go to bestworkplaces.org. And okay, final slide. I hope that you found the information interesting, and if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer those.
Sure. Do we have any questions from the participants? While we give people a moment to think, one question from our side. We saw from your presentation that 67% of BWC members provide transportation coordinators as a benefit. Can you please share what the role of a transportation coordinator is and why so many organizations have chosen to invest in this role?
Sure, and that's a great question, and you could see the percentage on the slide. That's one question that we asked them, and that's actually one of the, we consider that a benefit that the employer is providing because they have that person on site, that person who is the point of contact. And I think that sometimes it varies by state. We see that states sometimes even have mandates. They have to have that transportation coordinator. But the states who don't, we see that there still is a high percentage of these ETCs, employee transportation coordinators, because they're the point of contact. They're the person who is really talking to the employees. They're helping get the program information out. Things like the emergency or guaranteed ride home, they may be responsible for administering that. And so we're seeing that that is a critical position within the employers, and that, you know, many of our employers, sites, and universities who meet that standard have that great position as an ETC.
Thanks, Julie. One other thing too, do you find that the motivations for employers to provide commuter options is similar across your membership nationally, or different in some ways? And also, are there any motivations that employers have or your members have to provide these benefits that surprises you?
You know, so I talk to a lot of these employers on a daily basis, and what I'm just hearing back from them is the benefits that they provide meet what their employees need to be productive, and to, if for example, if they're providing, you know, transit passes or that van pool, they found that just getting employees to work has just a really great effect on the workplace. So a lot of them are looking at their bottom line. They're saying, if we provide what our employees need to get to work or to work from wherever that may be, we're finding that it affects our bottom line. It makes our company more profitable. It helps with absenteeism. And so even for those public sector agencies, they also say, you know, that is, we're looking at a more productive staff. We're looking at people who are getting to work, they're enjoying work. For example, our employers who have great bicycle programs, they find that those employees are healthy, they're happy. And so if you look at those array of benefits, it really is about productivity and offering choices that your employees need. So again, there's not one that fits everyone. So I'm finding they're saying they're offering many choices for their employees. They're listening to their employees. And we are seeing, you know, with the post-pandemic that at least our members are still offering that telework option. They're looking at the, you know, the effects of the hybrid workplace, and they're really trying to meet those expectations. They're also finding that if they offer commuter benefits, that they have a better workplace and that they have a larger pool of employees when they are hiring, because that's what people are really looking for today. They want those good options for getting to work. They want the flexibility, and they, you know, want to get to work and be productive.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah, so really kind of tying it also to kind of the business case as well, providing these benefits. We've got one final question in the chat before we close out for today. What county in the state of Maryland passed legislation that any employers with 25 or more employees must have a transportation coordinator? Do you know of any other states or counties that have the same mandate?
I'm not sure if it's that exact same mandate, but I am working with several states who have mandates for their programs. And so Oregon is one that we have been working with because they just passed a mandate. Washington State has mandates. So there are other states that may be similar to that one that you have. And, you know, that's something also we've been looking at and putting together a summary of the different states and the different mandates that they have. And so look for that. We'll put that together and make sure you're also included on that.
Thanks. Well, I'll turn it over to Gladys.
Thanks, Sophie. Julie, thank you so much for your time today. The information that you provided, I'm sure will be invaluable to a lot of our viewers today. And thank you to all of our participants. Our webinar session will be available, the recording, on our website, commuterchoicemaryland.com, along with today's presentation slides. Feel free to reach out to Commuter Choice Maryland anytime with any questions that you may have. Here's our contact information on the screen. And if you don't already, please follow and like us on LinkedIn and Facebook. Have a great rest of the afternoon, everybody. Take care.